there and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Angie and I'm a chemist who loves makeup. And we are going to be discussing some beauty industry news today, in which France has been the first country in the EU, possibly the world, that has been successfully allowed to import what they refer to as ordinary cosmetics into China to be sold to the Chinese market without having to perform pre-market animal testing, which is a requirement of all imported cosmetics to China. I'm going to give you some background on the China animal testing laws, and then we're going to talk about my thoughts on it and if I think this is something that can be implemented in the US as well. Now, you probably hear a lot the term cruelty-free when it applies to cosmetic brands. Now, some people are kind of confused about it, but simply it means that no animal testing was performed on the ingredients and or the finished product. If you want to learn more about it, Jen Loves Reviews did a video, so I will link that below for you to watch after you watch this video, in which she discusses more about cruelty-free and what it means and does not mean. And what cruelty-free has essentially come down to is this product sold in China? Because China, as far as I know, is the only market that requires pre-market animal testing for imported cosmetics. So if the brand does not sell in China, they can pretty much declare themselves cruelty-free, because animal testing is extra testing that companies do not want to have to do, and this isn't practiced really anymore because most of these ingredients we've used for a long time. We know their safety, we know what levels they're safe at. There's whole panels that decide this, and new ingredients aren't really being introduced because, again, frowned on animal testing, and finished products aren't willingly being tested on animals because it's extra testing that has to be done. It's not very accurate to how it would react to humans. And again, we already know the safety profiles of most of the ingredients out there. And historically, this used to be all cosmetic products that were sold in China, whether or not they were manufactured in China or outside of China. But in 2014, they allowed products that were manufactured in China to be sold to the Chinese market without having to do this pre-market animal testing. And something important to note is if these cosmetic products are found to cause harm to people, the Chinese authorities can still do post-market animal testing. So it's not ideal, at least if you know your product to be relatively safe, the risk of having to do this post-market testing should be low. These laws also specifically only apply to what they refer to as ordinary cosmetics. So in order to define ordinary, let's define what special is. So special is things like hair dyes and things like sunscreen, antiperspirants, skin whitening. Other than the hair dyes, things that we would probably refer to as an OTC cosmetic drug product in the US. So fast forward 2021, China is no longer requiring pre-market cosmetic testing for imported ordinary cosmetics as well, given the condition that they submit a certificate from a governing body that says they are practicing good manufacturing practice and have safety profile of the product. And if you want more information on how companies go about getting this kind of certification, I'm gonna leave the link down below for more information on it. And I think that these stipulations to import into China should be very easy for manufacturers to comply with. Good manufacturing practice, or anything that any manufacturing should do, that you're documenting everything properly, everything is clean. That's something very basic that all manufacturers should do. And as for a safety profile, that also should be very easy to do. Again, we're very familiar with safety of ingredients of most things, and a safety profile should be very easy to do and probably something that they should be doing anyway. And clearly it shouldn't be that hard as long as the regulatory bodies are actively working in order to implement this, as we've seen how France has been able to do it fairly quickly. And I am actually very excited for this, not only because who doesn't want us to get rid of animal testing, but also because I really dislike the idea of this cruelty-free marketing. I have found it to be misleading. A lot of customers mistaken cruelty-free to mean something other than animal testing not being performed. Some people think it's vegan, other customers think it means other things, and so it's very confusing. And my second issue is that while this issue is very important to some people and some brands as part of their identity, to others It is a marketing tactic that feeds off of the goodwill of people. Basically, it comes down to no cosmetic companies are really doing this testing themselves. If they sell to China, China does the testing, and that's how this label is put on them. And most of these brands, especially indie brands, aren't selling to China. They don't have a market there, so why would they bother? So I could sell a brand, and as long as I don't sell to China, I could just slap that cruelty-free label on there. So I have a lot of issue with the capitalizing off of the goodwill of people, and I feel like a lot of these brands don't really care about animal testing, and if they were able to enter the Chinese market and make a good sized profit, they would just do it and would be willing to strip themselves of this cruelty-free label. That's my opinion on it. That's why I don't like this term. So if we could have this apply to a good portion of brands and kind of eliminate the necessity for the cruelty-free logo, and customers could still be confident that at no point their cosmetics are going to be tested on animals. Again, at least pre-market testing. Hopefully in the future we can eliminate the post-market testing as well. So in theory, this whole system should be easy to implement. In the US, for example, the FDA would come and inspect these manufacturing facilities to ensure that they are adhering to these GMPs. They already do this for cosmetics that are OTC facilities, like sunscreens, antiperspirants, and then issue them some kind of certificate saying they meet the standards. And the safety profiles, which is what they should be doing. And such in France, they upload it, they can give it to China, yada, yada, yada. Very easy peasy. And I actually think implementing something like this would be very beneficial for the US cosmetics industry as a whole. This way, we can guarantee the public that the FDA is inspecting these facilities frequently. And even though the cosmetic industry is regulated, I think this would further help confirm that to people in the US. So I think the way to get this implemented, especially in a place like the US, is a big brand is gonna have to take this task on. And the thing is they are gonna have to do this for all of the products that they sell in China in order to have this kind of new cruelty-free definition, if you will. Because this only applies to manufacturing facilities. Big brands manufacture different products in multiple countries. Even small brands do this. And because they manufacture in multiple countries, all those countries that they manufacture in are gonna have to have the system in place in order for them to get the necessary certification so all of their products can avoid this pre-market animal testing. And the US, as we've seen with the FDA, they're not super fast and they're not really especially focused on cosmetics. So the only way that this would really be able to be implemented is if US manufacturers are starting to lose a lot of business because companies will prefer, let's instance, say like European manufacturers that are able to obtain this certification. So I think that may be the route that has to go. This is just my thoughts, but I really, really hope that this is something that we can implement in the US. I think it's gonna be really great to move forward with ending animal testing. It's gonna be really great for people who really, really want cruelty-free cosmetics, and I think it would be really great for the US as a whole to kind of solidify that, yes, the industry is regulated. So I'd really love to hear your opinions down below on what you think about this happening. If you want to learn more about the science behind makeup and skincare, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!